how has the language barrier been? One of my hesitations about traveling abroad. Honestly, it's been hilarious. We're here.
Don't ask Connor Don't ask Connor for the link to the Airbnb that we're at right now.
Don't ever ask me to book your trip.
Don't ask Connor to book.
Basically, that's what she wants to say.
We're at this funny place and
we're not at a funny place. We're at a great place in Croatia that I booked. It wasn't the place Britt chose, but it is a quality place.
It's all about the cutesy places.
But we'll be doing this type of video for all the countries we stay at.
Yeah.
So make sure you turn on your notifications, like the bell on
so you know when we post
our
a new
channel,
video.
So you know when we post a new video. And if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe.
And if you haven't gotten on the train yet, we've been posting 3 videos a week because we're just pumping out lots of content. So we figured might as well share them with you guys. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions about Croatia, because that's where we are next. That's the next Q&A video we'll be doing. So that's where we are. But today we're doing kind of like questions about the questions that you guys had about Switzerland and Lake Como and just like traveling with kids in general. So we posted that on my stories and we got questions from you guys and we'll be answering those. First question I think is really good is, I've heard Switzerland is super expensive. How did you travel with that? So it was expensive. Too. It was expensive, but a few things. We had heard that too, and I think it is like the most expensive country in Europe. It definitely is expensive. Like, what are some examples?
For example, food. It wasn't like less than $30-something a plate, and a lot of it was like, I don't know, it seemed more appetizing just because we're not used to the food. It seemed easier just to make food at home.
Yeah, so what we did, some ways that we saved money. First, we split an Airbnb we were going to split an Airbnb with my parents in Switzerland. We did split in Lake Como, but we like rented a car together, and then also we ended up just buying a lot of groceries and making literally every meal at home. Like we almost went out for one meal, but we went out and like looked at the menu and then we were like,
and we backed out.
So it's gonna be like 50 euros for one dish. We were kind of just like, I don't know, I think we'd rather save our money for like Italy food. So we ended up just making food at home. Next question is, how did you plan the whole Europe trip? I'll answer this one.
I didn't.
Connor, we ended up splitting it up, and Connor planned Croatia and I planned Switzerland, Italy, and Greece. And then
I planned
France
Cape
we kind
Cod.
of planned together, and he planned Cape Cod. So we kind of started by planning like what countries we wanted to go to, obviously, and then what cities we wanted to go to in those countries. And then we decided like how many days we'd want to be in each country. Since we're with the kids, we wanted to stay in each country for around 2 weeks. Obviously we weren't in Switzerland for that long, but we were just in one city in Switzerland, so that kind of made sense. And then we started by choosing our flights, obviously getting cheap dates for those, the cheapest they were, and then we kind of just built it backwards from there.
Yeah, and we did it based off of weather too, like because we're going in like the shoulder season into the fall, so like we wanted to do Switzerland first and not at the end because
it gets cold like
it'd be snowing. Like it was cold when we were there. Like it felt cold at night, and just kind of like going through the coldest to the warmest so that we can milk out that.
And we started with like cities, Airbnbs, car rentals, and like flights in between those countries, and then we planned like the activities we wanted to do on each day and mapped out each day, and then we planned like shuttles and taxis.
Yeah, it was kind of a beast. It took like 5 months.
Yeah.
Did you like Lake Como more or Amalfi? Honestly, it was hard. I might say Amalfi coast more.
Say Amalfi too.
I loved the Amalfi coast, but it was a different experience because we didn't have our kids, so maybe
and
that
we were there for a little bit longer. We were only in Lake Como for like 3 days.
But Lake Como had some amazing things. I'd always heard about it. My family had gone multiple times without me. But anyways, it was great.
Yes, it was fun. Prices of connecting flights. I think she means like in the country, like between each country.
Yeah, I mean the flight that we did from Milan to Croatia Zagreb was $36 one way for Britt and I,
good.
and then we had to pay for bags because they said anybody under 12 would fly for free if you paid for the family plan. So that was pretty awesome.
Oh, we didn't even have to buy a crew ticket?
We didn't have to buy a crew ticket.
Banks should have bought a ticket on that. We cried the whole flight.
Yeah, sorry, thanks. Sitting back because backs hurt.
Next question is, what was your favorite thing to do in Switzerland?
Okay, so here is my opinion. We did the Jungfrau, obviously it's a little expensive to do that activity. But my favorite activity was paragliding.
Yeah,
I think I would have
for that.
taken our money and instead of paying for any of those other things, I would have done paragliding like 6 times.
But if you're not into that,
If you're not into
crazy
paragliding,
adventure,
my next
Grindelwald
second,
Fierce
Grindelwald Fierce was amazing, and I would do the mountain buggy and the trotty bike, like all day.
It was really fun.
We also did
We
that
did
hike, and it
Trummelback
was
Falls.
so fun.
Trummelback Falls was pretty, but I don't think I would have done it again.
Yeah.
Another thing that we loved doing was going to Marin, and I wish we would have
Oh,
gone up and hiked the
yeah.
flower trail. We didn't realize it was in a different town.
That was my
So
fault. I'm
that-
planning
I would've spent
another
more
sore
time there.
subject.
And I think I would have spent another day going to Wengen, which is also another
Wengen.
walking town.
Yeah, the walking towns looked they were cool.
Our favorite dish. I'm gonna say in Italy because we didn't go out.
We
to
didn't eat
eat
out in Switzerland.
My absolute favorite, margherita pizza. It's so good. Second favorite,
Yeah, I had
probably
amazing pizza, and then when
probably the lasagna we had that night.
those were both amazing. I honestly, the olive oil, balsamic, and bread dip,
I want that.
the
right
olive
now.
oil that they have
Mouth
in the
is
country
watering.
of Italy is superior by like 15 levels. It's so good and just so much flavor.
How are you doing with all the traveling? That is very nice of you to ask. I feel like I can't complain that much about like when we have hard days because we planned it, so we expected going with like 2 young kids that there were going to be some stressful days. Like yesterday was a very stressful day flying from Milan to Croatia, but we I don't know, I think that overall it's been very good. Like I would say stressful moments versus fun moments, probably like 80-20. I think it's definitely been worth it.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first few days it was hard to adjust to the time zone, but now that we're adjusted,
It's been
it feels
really
like
fun.
real life, except for that we've taken time off like work. Obviously we're creating content, but I get to spend like so much extra time with the boys and with Connor that sometimes I don't get to spend at home because I'm working more. It's just been really fun.
A lot of like fun memories that I'm gonna look back on forever.
And it's been fun to watch like the boys become closer friends because we've just been together 24/7, so it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been
Okay, we've had like multiple people ask for like a detailed itinerary and
Of what
on the
we've done.
Queen of Planning, so I have one, but I will post it in the description because it'd be
or
a lot
like
to go
or
over.
maybe the comment.
Okay, comments.
We'll do it in the comments. I will pin it at the top.
One for Switzerland and one for Lake Como.
How has the language barrier been? One of my hesitations about traveling abroad. Honestly, it's been hilarious. There's been some moments where, like, especially when we got here to Croatia today, I was trying to ask this lady. They called this hamburger a plitva burger, and I was like, "What's a plitva burger?" And she was like, "Huh?" Like, so confused at me. Switzerland had no idea, but a lot of people spoke English.
Yeah, a lot of people spoke English in Switzerland. Italy, not very many people spoke English.
But because I don't know,
But
I felt like some words
pretty
are
similar to Spanish.
crossover in
Yeah.
Spanish, and we felt more comfortable like hearing Italian than I did hearing Swiss
And
or
since we'd
Croatian.
been to Italy before, we kind of had remembered some of the words.
Yeah.
But here, the language literally looks
We have
so
no idea.
different.
Like, we got lost last night trying to find the Airbnb.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And when I messaged the host saying I have no idea where we are, we're lost. I have no cell service. And I get a call, I was like, uh-oh, it's gonna be this lady in like Croatian, I have no idea. And she actually had pretty good English. And like what I've noticed is people that deal with tourists speak the tourist language
Yeah,
to help
they
them
usually
out.
speak English. Can you drive a rental car in Grindelwald, or is it best to take public transportation? I think you can do either, and it probably just depends on your circumstance. So, for example, we had a car with our kids and my parents took the trains,
but
because
they
it's
also
just those
rode
two,
with
but
us
they rode
at
with us
times, too.
sometimes. So I think you could do either, but if you have kids, I would definitely recommend a car.
Just in
Maybe
case
just
of
because it's
meltdowns.
Yeah, Banks like had a hard time on trains, and
Everyone stares.
yeah. So we just preferred to have our own car so that
And, like,
they could nap in the car when we're driving places and stuff like that.
And yeah, not relying on like the timetable, because it
Times.
was like every 30 minutes. So if like Banks is losing it for 30 minutes, I'm gonna hop on like a 40-minute train. It just wasn't the best idea for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Depends on your kids. And
But
your
it's
sitch.
super easy to drive there. There was like
Lots of parking.
lots of parking.
You do have to pay for all your parking, but it was like $1.50.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Best kind of cheese you ate so far?
Okay, we had this cheese board in Italy. I literally had to ask the waitress what it was called. She said it's called Casera cheese. It was like soft and kind of sweet, but not like super soft like brie. It was
good.
so good. I really like the Rustico Antico.
Is that what it was called?
Or does that both
honestly,
mean the same thing?
I don't know, but
was really
but
good.
like don't go sleeping on buffalo cheese.
Yeah, buffalo is
It
really good.
So good.
When we first went to Italy, we were so confused by buffalo cheese. We were like, is it buffalo flavored?
Like buffalo chicken pizza.
And they're like, no, it comes from a buffalo. And we
It
were
was
like,
pretty
what?
creamy and
So
delicious.
it's really good.
like
It's
a
the
little
best mozzarella
superior
ever.
of mozzarella. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good. And burrata. I've become a cheese guy. I never really was
Yeah,
a cheese
Coco,
guy
I
until we
love
went to
that.
Italy the first time, and then that was like the only thing I was looking forward to on when we were just there again.
Switzerland. Were the natives nice or rude? And a lot of old people? What would you say?
I think their culture is to be a little short, and also we didn't speak the language, so I don't know, but I felt like a lot of people were short with us. I felt like the Italian people were a little bit more, like, they loved that we have kids.
Yeah, I feel like the Italians weren't like super nice, but then when they saw you had kids, you like automatically became like,
They just always waved and smiled, and they
Yeah.
were nice to you. I felt like in Switzerland
That
it
is really
wasn't,
nice.
like, they were just kind of all into their own thing that they were doing and not, like, overly, like, friendly, but I don't think they were necessarily mean.
yeah. We rented a boat in Italy to drive the lake, and once we were on it, it was totally fine, and the guy was super nice, but before we were trying to like coordinate it and make sure it was still good, and I called him and he answered, and I think it's just the language barrier, but it just sounded so rude. He was just like, no, I don't have any bookings for you, and you think I remember you? I have 10 people booked today. And I was like, oh, okay. So like that was an example where we were kind of like, that's kind of rude, but maybe he was just like, that was just him trying to speak English and it came across rude. So I don't know, sometimes it's hard to tell. I think people have the best intentions and maybe they're just having bad days, but
Yeah, and I don't think like I also think it's unique just because we've been in super touristy locations,
Yeah.
and so I think just from what we've noticed from Hawaii, I think people just don't love when this place that was like a hidden gem
Yeah.
to them is now exposed to everybody, and it just like makes them sad.
yeah. So many other good questions, but for now, because we'll do more of these for the next videos, I would love if you rank your experiences from all countries from fave to least fave. Well, I don't even know because we've only been to 2.
Oh, but my favorite
So
thing
far.
we've done up until today has been the paragliding.
Yeah, paragliding for sure was my favorite. Grindelwald Fierce was really fun. Third, I would probably say boating on Lake Como.
Oh yeah,
So
Lake
beautiful.
Como was insane.
4th, maybe biking in Lake Como, and 5th, maybe Jungfrau.
Yeah, Jungfrau was really cool. Yeah.
And obviously we have like, we'll rank our favorite countries and all that stuff based on like food and places we stayed and all these things, but we have only been to 2 so far. So stay tuned for
We'll
more
keep
of
you
these videos
updated.
to come. That was fun to kind
It was-
of answer all of them, and I'll post those itineraries in the comments. So let us know if you have any other questions.
Alright, see you guys.